Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Rad Movement on YouTube. I'm your host, Robbie, and the topic of today's video is social anxiety. So recently, Donna and I were going to a concert. Mike Love, one of my favorite recording artists, he was local. She made sure we had a babysitter, and she made sure we were able to go. So, before we go, I'm drinking alcohol, and I'm like kind of stressed out, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go, and this and that. And she's like, dude, it's probably just your social anxiety. And I was like, what? I don't have social anxiety. I just drink when I'm out in public around a bunch of people because I get anxious. So she called me out, and I was like, damn, you're right. And this was only a couple months ago that I finally faced that. Like, I've been dealing with social anxiety like most of my life. I mean, all of my life, really. Symptoms are getting nervous that you have to be around people, sweating a lot, getting shaky or trembly, not being able to breathe some. Now that doesn't really get me so much, but it is a symptom for a lot of people. Being nervous to go and speak somewhere, being nervous to get on stage or be recognized. I get recognized a lot, and I go on a decent amount of stages. I should start, getting better at dealing with this, and I'm working on it. I'm always working on it, but like, wow, and like, I should have more grace for myself and acknowledge that I'm working on it. So, I'm learning how to do all these things at the same time and not beat myself up over not being perfect, right? So, and I think that's the key here, is just accepting that you're not perfect, understanding that you're going through something that's traumatic feeling, and you will get through that traumatic feeling thing. But usually on the other side of that traumatic feeling is a gift or a reward, accomplishment, something that was there waiting for you to come get it. You just had to trudge through the sludge of the fear and the worries and the sweating and the shaking and the crying and the being uncomfortable. I tell myself a lot of things when I go out places to deal with it. It was funny, we went to go and see Postmodern Jukebox one night, and I was stressing out the whole way there, and I'm like, fuck, I really don't want to run into people, and just want to watch the music and listen to the music and feel the music. And then like I ran into so many people that were so happy to see me, strangers wanting to take pictures with me and shit. It was really cool. And it was like, wow, the first dude I saw was one of my favorite bouncers from when I used to go out and hang out in the bars back in the day. So like, it was so cool. Like, we had a really, really great reception, and I shouldn't have been nervous. And I think a lot of it comes from like the fear of rejection that I've always had. I've always been the kid that was afraid to get made fun of, but got picked on a lot when I was a kid. And I don't know if I healed that inner guy's stuff yet. I know I haven't. So, it's very easy for me to get in the place of feeling less than. And then it just spirals. So if you do any of that stuff, drinking has always been an easy coping mechanism, but it's not really a healthy one. If you do, that's cool. I'm not mad at you, I do it too. But like drinking, cannabis, medications, other things that, are helping you soothe the mind are your typical go-to coping mechanisms, and they might not work for you. If you have a doctor that's prescribing you medications to help you through it, awesome. If you're just getting fucked up all the time to try and work through it, there's better ways. And I'm looking at me when I'm saying this because I'm making this video. I have used it a lot in the past. Drinking, even drugs, some painkillers or Valiums or Xanaxes or something. I've done a number of things. And you can see I'm getting uncomfortable talking about it because I don't really talk about this stuff much. It's kind of the darkness that I keep behind closed doors because I want to be the best I can be. But the truth is, I don't always cope properly, and properly by my standards. Let's talk about healthy ways to manage the symptoms of social anxiety. So, telling yourself the truth. Most of the times when you walk into a room, Robbie, people are really excited to see you. You usually run into people you know, and even the people you don't know tell you positive things about yourself on a regular basis. Whether it's your aesthetic is awesome, or I love your glasses, or I love your Crocs, or I love your outfit, or I love your hair. Like, I hear all these nice things about me on a regular basis, and I still get nervous to be around strangers because I guess to the core I'm afraid they're not going to like me, and they're going to treat me the way that the kids that treated me bad when I was a kid are going to treat me, and they're not going to. They think I'm great. Most of the time when I go anywhere, people think I'm great, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that that's what I need to tell myself when I go into these situations, because I have done it many times where I'm like, no, I'm not going to drink tonight. I'm just going to chill, and I'm going to be fun, and it's going to be cool. And you just have to get over that hump, that initial, that big giant fear of, I'm being around people and energies, and I don't know how I'm going to receive it all, and I'm getting uncomfortable, and holy crap, what am I going to do? You just got to allow that to come and go. We had an Ink Master premiere party, and we took a limo to it from the hotel, and I was so nervous getting out of that limo, just because all those eyes that were going to be on me, and I got so uncomfortable. And when I popped out, I just kind of remember bouncing around from person to person, getting pictures taken and stuff, and it was very surreal. Then I saw my friend Matt, who visited me from California, and I didn't know it, and I just clung to him, and that was like my safety in that moment. And that's another way to work through it. Find safety in the moment, right? One of the coping mechanisms of dealing with social anxiety is fixating on people or objects. So that may not be healthy, but I feel like it's healthier than consuming substances. So like if you do find a grounding element to your partner or your best friend or something like that, that's always, I want to say, kind of a coping tool. But if you want to really just get to the root of it, you got to do some deep work. You got to do some shadow work. You got to do some inner child work. You got to really dig deep and figure out why your pains are what they are. And you usually find that at the beginning of your life, and even further before that in your ancestral line. So, there's a number of ways and a number of healing modalities. I'm personally seeing a shaman, and it's really cool because it's like life coaching / shaman journeying. So it's way different than I thought it would be, and it's very healing for a lot of parts of my life. And we're doing ancestral work and stuff too. So I'm finding out things that are here that are hurting us could actually be from many ancestors before you. And we've been working through some of that stuff myself. So I feel like doing this work is another part of me finding my way out of social anxiety. I'm finding parts of myself that are damaged and working towards healing those in specific ways, and then in non-specific ways, and then continually trying to have a self-love and self-grace and self-gratitude and self-care processes. So it's a lot. Managing life is a lot. So if going out in public freaks you the fuck out, just remind yourself, I'm a really great person, and people are probably going to enjoy seeing me. Rather than all the stories we tell ourselves. I mean, they're going to call me fat, they're going to make fun of me, they're going to laugh at me. All these things that we've dealt with in the past, all these pains from the past that just keep rearing their ugly heads because we don't know how to heal them. Do the work to heal them. I do a lot of things, including mental health workshops, coaching, getting coached, reading books, journaling, meditating, breath work. There's so much. And right now I just started working with my shaman, so I'm going to work with her for a while, and then when that turns into something else, I'm going to work with other modalities of healing myself. But I'm always working towards healing myself, and I think that's the point I'm making is you're always having to work towards healing. It is a lifelong journey. You never get it fixed right away. It doesn't go away overnight. There's no get happy quick pill. There's no way you can make your life perfect and get away from all your troubles and all your stress. Because honestly, the stress and the troubles make the polarity for all the great that we have in our lives. So let's work on changing our perspective. Change your perspective of how you look at yourself and how you feel others will look at you. Remind yourself, I've got a pretty good track record of being pretty popular with people when I go places. Or if you don't, remind yourself, hey, guess what? I know I can do this because I've made it through every hard thing in my life before this. And kind of treat it like a game. It's okay. You'll be okay. You'll figure it out, and life is great. So try not to worry too much about the fears that we face. And just know you'll get through them. And then actively do your part to get through them. And I guarantee you'll live one hell of a life. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm rad, and so are you, and you, and you, and you, all of you. Until next time, I'm Robbie Rapole. This is the Rad Movement. Thank you for tuning in. And if you like what I'm doing here, please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends. Have a wonderful day, and I love you.